Is Phil Foden a system player? This is surely a controversial topic, especially among Man City fans. But as a Man City fan myself, I'll attempt to give as honest an answer as I can. However, there is a problem with the initial question itself. You see, the idea of a system player doesn't have a fixed definition. You can shift definitions to suit your narrative, but this is neither honest nor productive. So if you want a short and immediate answer to this video, it is a matter of opinion. But if you actually want to delve into this a bit more, enjoy the video. First, let's define a system player. A player with the talent, ability, and intelligence to thrive in a specific tactical setup, but lacking the individuality or insight to perform at the same level outside of them. Kevin De Bruyne is a poor example of a system player. He has excelled for Belgium in major tournaments and adapted to various teams, styles, and tactics. His failure at Chelsea was an outlier as he succeeded at Genk, Bremen, Wolfsburg, City, and Belgium. This also shows the importance of sample size. This is where Phil Foden faces uncertainty. Having only played for Man City and England, his sample size is limited, making it harder to assess how he'd perform in a completely different setup. Just keep that in mind. Phil Foden had the season of his life last year, making 35 appearances, his personal most, while scoring 19 times, also a personal record, with another 8 assists. Foden totaled 27 goals and assists in the Premier League alone. His impact was not limited to goals, however. He helped control the pace of the game, moving the ball through midfield and down the wings to keep Man City in control, creating situations where other creators at Man City, like De Bruyne, could excel too. This meant even when he wasn't directly outputting goals, he was helping to create the positions from which Man City created and scored those goals. It was a brilliant season, which came after his injury-ridden treble season. It was a statement for Foden, producing important goals against Man United, West Ham, Brentford, and so on to win City the title. One could see this type of performance and wonder how this suggests a system player in any way. However, it is so that for all of this season, Foden still played with a functional midfield around him. When Foden finds himself in midfield in the 24-25 season, his performances have been subpar. He has lacked the same ability to control and dictate games. He has not shown the sparks of individual brilliance. The same is very much so true for England. No matter how much Southgate tried to accommodate Foden, he did not perform well. One-off games might see good performances, but not consistently. This leads me to my first point. Why Foden is a system player. He can't do it on his own. When he's surrounded by poor players, he can't lift them up. And even when he's surrounded with good players at England, he can't fit the system. He can't utilize his abilities the way he does for City. A counter-argument to this may be Foden's versatility. He has played right wing, central midfield, attacking midfield, left wing, false nine throughout his career. A variety of positions, which each require different skill sets to perform well in. One could argue that since Foden is versatile in these different positions, he cannot be a system player. This is where I disagree. Versatility does not show individuality. It shows understanding of the game. This understanding is a great thing to have, but at the end of the day, you are still applying yourself in a manner that the manager sees fit. This is not inherently a bad thing. Great players should follow the instructions of great managers to bring their best selves forward. However, Everyone cannot show their best selves outside of these tactical lineups. No matter how versatile, that still makes a player beholden to the system they play in. Another counter-argument can be pointing out Foden's goals from outside the box. He has been able to score incredible goals last season, hence he cannot be a system player. This is, again, flawed in my opinion. His ability to score these goals does not matter if he cannot apply it outside of a system set up by a manager. Foden lacks the individuality to make those shots on his own. He has to be put in positions that had been repeated through training before actually applying this ability of his. Again, not something that comes out of individuality. To contrast this to some of Haaland's goals, which can't be trained for. This shows the ability to apply your skills separately from the system you play in. And this leads to my final argument before the conclusion. Haaland is a good example of an individually great player. No matter the system, he will always score goals. It is what he does. Better systems will allow him to produce more goals. Worse systems will see him produce less, but he will always be a consistent goal scorer. Phil Foden has not been a consistent scorer, controller, or dictator of games this season, nor with England. In my opinion, this is the crucial difference between a great individual player and a great system player. Is being a system player so bad though? Is there any shame in acknowledging that Foden lacks a certain level of individuality? What he lacks in personality, he more than makes up for with discipline and intelligence. Foden's ability to win Player of the Year while thriving in a structured system shows just how exceptional he is within that role. He has a deep understanding of his strengths and limitations, which is what separates good players from great ones. Rather than forcing himself into a mold that he doesn't suit, he fully embraces his role. He becomes a tool for his manager, a player who thrives as the centerpiece of a tactical system, because he is willing and able to play that way. So right now, the system doesn't work, and Foden is not really performing. But when surrounded by the right players and supported by the right manager, Foden will rise again, and then you'll wish that you had him. Thank you for watching this video until the end. If you'd be so kind, consider liking and subscribing if you haven't already. It really does help the channel out a ton. And go check out some of my watch-alongs or other streams if you're into that. And I'll see you guys on the next one.